Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for watching. It's that time of year again. You know exactly what I mean. It's the time of year where you end up setting up a new email address because the one that you have been using is completely flooded because every company that you have purchased something from for the last 5 or 10 years has sent you an email letting you know about their Black Friday deals. And I have to confess that that's exactly what today's video is. You guys are familiar with XS Sites. They're the company that I gravitate most towards for my tritium night sights. Well, they have come out with a new sight pusher tool that is releasing today, as in the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And they wanted to know if I would do a test drive on it to tell you guys about it, as well as just see if it's an effective product or not. So that's what we're going to do in today's video. This is an aluminum housing product that is designed to help you remove and install your rear sights. And I suppose you could probably use it for those driftable front sights too, but I know that it's specifically designed for your rear sights. Those are the ones that I typically have the worst trouble with anyway. As far as getting in line, usually that's how you set the windage of your firearm anyway. You want it right in the center if you're wondering. The way this thing works essentially is we have an aluminum body here with a screw that comes through and pushes on this piece of brass. That piece of brass is graduated, as in right here there's some marks to let you know how far you've come, and then it's also got some homing lines here on the distal end to help you line up your front sight and the channel. The way it works essentially is you put your slide in there, and then there is this tapered dowel that has a little shelf on it and just slides right in there, so that it doesn't matter what size slide you're doing, as long as you can get it between the dowel and the aluminum housing, you should be good as far as being able to get it securely in there. So we've got two things that we're going to do today. We're going to go ahead and install a sight using this tool, and then we're going to abuse it. And I will throw the destruction manual up on screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. Now, before we get this party started, if you look here at the top, it says oil threads. So we're going to follow the instructions, put some KGW on it real quick, go ahead and run it through its range of operation to make sure that it's nice and lubed up and operating properly. We don't want to destroy it quite yet. So now that we're all nice and lubed up and ready to rock, I took the liberty of stripping this slide off screen so that you guys didn't have to watch me do that and be exceptionally bored. I also, since it had nothing to do really with this tool, changed out the front sight for an XS front sight, and I thought since I have it here, I would show you the crap that Glock is passing off as sights these days. Yes, plastic, not polymer, plastic, all metal. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to do a rear sight. Now, for installation, this is going to need to be wound down quite a bit to make some room. We're going to do a 3-dot tritium sight install for this, relatively close, and then we take this grooved dowel, insert it into the channel until it kind of homes up our slide. So to give you an idea, I'm turning it just with the short side, so not really much mechanical advantage required. We're going to call that good, and to take it out, we'll just back it off a little bit. And that looks to me like it's right in the center. I'm getting dressed to head out to the range to do some night filming here in just a few minutes. But before we turn on the night vision tubes, there's a fair amount of setup that has to happen every single time. And for that, we use white light. The brand that I choose to use for my white light needs is PowerTac. They've been featured many times here on the channel. They are a rechargeable light, and that way I can use it on a day in, day out basis without having to worry about changing out a whole bunch of batteries. If you'd like to know more information, then please hit up our Linktree account in the description box down below, as well as our full affiliates page where you can find discounts on brands like PowerTac. And the use of those codes generates a commission back to me, so you are indirectly supporting the channel just by picking up something that you already needed. So thank you very much. Now we're going to abuse this thing. The body is made out of aluminum, the pusher is made out of brass, and then the other components are made out of steel. This thing is designed so that if you over torque it, the body will bend elastically to a degree. And it has a safety system built in with it whereby we use these shims. So if you're having a problem with a sight, then you test to see if you're overdoing it with your sight tool. And if you are, then you need to change methods. What we're gonna do is put something in here that basically should make it bend. So I have selected a piece of dowel. We're just gonna go ahead and put our shim in there until it's ready to rock. And the idea is that we're going to tighten this until we get up to the point where it says to stop. And basically, the way we do this is we take these shims and we stick it underneath of the bend to measure it. And if we get to a point where all the shims fit, or excuse me, one then less of the shims fit, then we should stop. And it should go right back to its original shape.
One hour later.
Okay, so we've reached the point where we have split the board, and I think we have enough. Yes, we can get a shim under. Can we get 2 shims? So we've gone from green to yellow. We can get 2 shims. Can we get 3? My gosh, where's the dimes? We can barely get 3 shims under the bend. Like it sticks right there. So that's the point where we're supposed to stop. We're not supposed to get all the way to the red shim. So we're gonna back it off and see if it still goes straight, if we have elastic deformation instead of plastic deformation. There you have it. I cannot get that shim underneath there anywhere. So yeah, turns out it works. Elastic deformation, not plastic. So she didn't die. Golf clap, everybody. Let me go to my notes and make sure I get this done right. They're going to be doing a 20% off sale. XS usually runs a 20% off sale about this time, but they're also going to have a discount on the R3D sight and tool bundle. So this thing basically goes live today and will start shipping mid-December. I want to make sure that that is entirely clear. They've got 2 models. This is what I believe to be the DIY. Flip. You see that screw there? I was basically standing here finger banging it during the wrap up, and through the palpating of that screw, I undid it. It screws down inside of a recessed channel to retain the block. So cool. Critiques on this thing. There's only one critique that I have for this tool, and that is XS. I don't know what to do with this, man. This dowel. I'm gonna lose this. Nay. This thing is going to be used for all sorts of unnatural purposes. I'm going to have to tape it together or I'm going to lose it. So I guess I can put it like this and wrap it in duct tape. But in future iterations of the sight pusher tool, once you guys get to Gen 2 of the thing, give me some place to insert this. Like back here, there's plenty of meat to machine out there that we can insert this in there. I don't think that we need all this girth to hold these components. Give me some place to put this thing. Otherwise, it's going to be done unless I tape it together. But that's all for the rear sight tool from XS, again, announced today. So special thanks to them for sending this out so I have a quick and dirty video to do. So I can spend the rest of this weekend with my family, as well as getting ready for Ohio's deer gun season. Thank you all for joining us here on the VSO Gun Channel. Special thanks to our people on Patreon and Subscribestar, as well as our channel members here at YouTube to help keep the lights on.